So I'm going to do a few things to just kind of settle myself for here, and then just share a few words with you.
Paper towels.
First of all, I really feel that it's always important, whatever land that I stand on, to thank the ancients and the ancestors and the indigenous people of the physical earth that we are standing on. I will probably get some of these words pronounced incorrectly. I didn't do my due diligence and have Google Translate do them for me. So for those of you that are native and local to this land, please forgive me. Shala Rafa, I believe the original name of Chillicothe, the principal town for the Mikochi, the Kispoko, the Kiskomi, Sahara,
Good, I'm sorry,
Wekila.
I'm so sweaty.
I would like
the
to give
humidity's
honor
starting to get me.
to these people and thank them for allowing us to be here on this land. I give honor to Yahweh as a faith walker, God and the Creator. And I would like to just take about 30 seconds here to honor those people who have fought for us, who are not here today. I would like to send light and love to those folks who would like to be here today, and for whatever reasons keep them from being out here for this great celebration. I would just like to lift that up, lift those folks up. So I'm honored to be here. On September 24th, I will actually turn 61 years old.
Woo! All right.
Thank you. I'm a sexagenarian. Yes, I am. Sexagenarian. I've been saying it all year long that it was my inaugural sexagenarian year, and I was enjoying the fact that I could say to people, look it up. I'm not saying what you think I'm saying. Never really, ever, until this actual moment. Like, I honestly have still been all day not believing that I was going to be here standing in the heart of Chillicothe, speaking light and love for the LGBTQIA plus community, for Black and Indigenous people of color, for transgender expansive, non-binary, and queer communities. It is truly a miracle in my mind, truly a miracle. I am from Zanesville, Ohio. Zville. I am from the river. I am not a townie. I am from out in the country, very few shoes, as much as possible, running in the farmlands. I am Appalachian, and it took me a very long time. I worked really hard to get rid of saying home, I'm going home, and y'all coming on over here, running it all together. It took me a long time. I ran out of Zanesville to Columbus and tried to put all that country friedness behind me, but I soon learned that you can leave the country, but it don't never really leave you, and that is where my heart and home is, and I am happy to be a hillbilly. I am. And I say that out loud because oftentimes people look at folks like me and don't think that I have the same experience, the same small town rural experience as they might. I am proud of my country roots. I am proud of my Appalachian roots, and and even though it took actually 50 years for me to step out and emerge as myself, as a proud, black, trans-masculine, non-binary person. It took 50 years, but what I'm so happy about is that so many of you don't have to have that same experience. But I think that it's important for people like me to come here and tell you, because the news, sometimes your churches, sometimes your schools, sometimes the people who tell you that they love you, their fear will try to convince you that you are not a beautiful, magnificent being of light here for a purpose. And I'm here to tell you, you're not invisible. You're visible. Do not believe the hype. How is it possible that they do not see us? I mean, come on. We are everywhere. When people say, oh, I don't know this person, or I don't know a gay person, I don't know a lesbian, I don't know a transgender person, that is a whole bunch of bunk. And I'm here to tell you that they are afraid. And you can say, oh, really? Well, you do now. You know? And that's all about, that is a message that I had so wished. I actually knew who I was at 8 years old. I had to work to hide who I was for all of these years until, right into college. I will share a short story. I really was feeling like I shouldn't be on this earth. And I share that with you all because I think as a people of traumatic experience, with living in the mainland USA, you've had some kind of trauma of some sort in your life, and that those fears get us shut down, and then we start looking as alternative beings. We start looking around and we believe, like we're being told, that there's nobody like us. And then we get down on ourselves, and then we start having these crazy thoughts that we shouldn't be here. You should be here, honey.
Yes.
You should be here.
Yes.
And so I got in a place where I was feeling like that. And I will share with you that I went out that day, because I'm dramatic, as you probably can tell. I went out that day to take one final walk before I was going to go home and people were going to find a tragedy the next day. I went out and I found myself drawn to a park much like this one, where there was a whole lot of people that looked much like you all standing around. Well, it so turned out that I had walked myself, I think guided by the divine, honestly.
Yes.
I walked myself in the middle of the first Columbus Pride March. That year, there were people with brown paper bags on their heads. That year, there were riot police up and down the street, helicopters flying overhead to watch this 1 mile march. We were outnumbered by the evangelicals and just the plain old haters that were out there. I was standing on the side trying to figure out what was all going on, and it happened that there was a little 2 or 3 year old kid next to me with a sign. His parent was trying to get him to hold this sign that said, God hates fags. All my life, I was blessed to never be told that God hated anybody. That just was not my experience. I don't know how that happened in Zanesville, because if any of y'all been to Zanesville, it is pretty conservative there. There's a church a stone throw from every single church. I had friends that had been excommunicated out of their churches. I don't know how I got to that space knowing that that wasn't true. But I looked at that little kid and thought about my nieces and nephews, my brothers and my sister, and thought, I cannot. I have to try to do something. I felt like an invisible hand shoved me off the curb into the march. But the next thing you know, I was on that march shouting. Somehow I got a megaphone. And all the evangelicals, I was like, shame on you, shame, 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 shame. I don't know where it came from. I have no idea. I never got home until 6 a.m. that next day. I walked into my apartment. I cleared everything that I had made way for myself to depart, and went on to live my life and make sure that any chance that I got to say to somebody, look at me, look at me. There are all kinds of reasons that people think I shouldn't be here, but I'm here. And the divine told me that I was supposed to be here, and that I'm supposed to be bright, and I'm supposed to be light, and I'm supposed to share a message with all of you. Stand up. Be visible. Don't accept it. And that we are here. Look at all these people around you that are available for your support.
Yes.
And not everybody in your life is supposed to be in your life. And there is no reason for you to take yourself out because somebody else is too scared to allow your light to shine. That's my message.
That's right. That's
for
right.
today. I can't wait to get out here, do this march. I thank you all for allowing me this time, and happy Pride.
Happy